Welcome to Poetry Slam, first of 2025. Give yourselves a round of snaps and claps.
I feel it.
So, we are going to share some wonderful words of poetry today. We're going to listen with our lovely ears and our minds, and I'm ready to get going. First on up today is the talented and wonderful James Adamson. Welcome.
Yeah. This one's called The Leaf on the Way, and all my poems are the glory of God and the gloom of love. Anyway, so I'll put my glasses on, but I don't really need them that much. Okay, Christmas poem number 1. Innocence blowing on the breeze, seagulls standing around. The one-legged one plays with a leaf. Nearing the end of summer and a small branch of leaves drops. It sits there ironically. The breeze rustles it and I pretend to be scared. Humor seemed welcome in God's world that day, while leaves riddle us with irony. Trees become nude, confetti in biodegradable form. One leaf and we know winter is on the way. Trees seem to laugh at us with their summer glory, robed in leaves and royal green. Obviousness that they are vital to us, trees have sway over us. They hide a world unto themselves. As feathers drop on the patio from a hawk's latest kill. We can see the size of leaves from a block away. They roll on the sidewalk like a globe of light, hitting a man in the air like a spiritual tap on the shoulder. The size of nature in your hand, the poetry of childhood as we are corralled into school. A leaf as one man, as individuals, or in singular power, the whole point of freedom. The whim of power in one hand is a need to hold on to a dead leaf. Insisting exposure to the elements means truth. Death is a common denominator, while the glory of celebration is cherished. The bold simplicity of our flag, one leaf with ocean borders, 25 points on the leaf and 12 corners on the borders. In God we trust, as everyone is honored by the greatest truth. We all deserve the summer's glory, and we all deserve the irony of death. Free of persecution by those who are threatened by morality. The heartbeat is the change of the seasons. The rotation of our planet is the blood being pumped through. In tune with loss, and again we see the ambiguity. A vision of my love is the power to be vital in the face of great loss. The flag blows in the wind as if each flap is the sound of honor. Bright white and bright red are like honesty themselves, as if repeating someone else's wit isn't obvious theft because you turn it around. A sense of humor about oneself becomes the devil's only joke about another. As huge piles of leaves bury the devil in its ignorance, it stabs at thee. One little leaf blows by and death flies in its face. Glory and humility, life and honor. One leaf comes to save the day, the simplicity of beauty. And this one's called It Just Came Together. Like footprints in the sand, a smile from a friend, breaking an egg to see a butterfly rise into a summer meadow, to see a lock turn into a bronze mask, a case sitting among the pebbles and the stones, the way dreams are a distant city. Love as the light shines between the buildings. Why do we use sand for traction? How do friends betray us? How do chemicals trick us into giving them credit? It seems breaking a bond is mere steps away. Yesterday I looked down on an old man for being old. Wrinkles and veins were dishonor. Then I was alone. A chance to see on paper. Written hope strung like a thread pulled into a tapestry. Paint made sense. Music thumped into delicate evolution. Art is its own reward. I knew I could not outrun my footsteps, even in dry sand where no distinction exists, playing with crawfish, lobsters, dying in the basement where I was lost in my room, set free of sedatives, sleeping through parties, burning down the house where I was too late to forgive, except what pain was so powerful to live by, pulling away from their tiny home like a hat that no longer fit. Smashing everything made them laugh until they saw Barbie dolls die and the planet released from gradations of plastic. Then continents of garbage appeared and children understood care because they could no longer be wise. Diving into the ocean, we hope our world hasn't overflowed into our hopes. Planes sing in the sky. They turn the sky into a miracle, waiting for commercials. Capture in a place that's very good. Certainly not a room on ward. Friends with plans to help me into their anger. I laugh because of their exquisite plan. Platonic love is real, but it is wiser than betrayal. Knocking on family doors because chances are greater than distances. Finally, they wanted to see who it was, who thought he could care about a small cage, writing, playing music, painting buildings, furniture covered in paper. Ideas are like butterflies. Either they are pinned to foam or they fly free. We are begotten, not made. There is no reasoning in hating another you of your same father. The rain poured so hard you could only see my weeping in my waxy facial skin. Birth and a war of attrition are similar. Stepping into a simmer caught on film, dead cellulose and pixels, cracking through the sidewalk, rising like a monster. A dream made my heart palpitate, like a lesson I learned. Lost like walls are confused, except structure is a chair, and the past adds up, so we are more than our memories, even though I had none. Stupid all along with a penguin going faster than an osprey. I left something behind. I saw something and it was more than I thought, until thought met up with freedom for her, and distant hope wasn't harmful. I laughed after I didn't want to live for 1,000 years, and something not strange happened to me. So sincerity was my blood. Strokes of a pen, a straight edge, a paintbrush, a word processing program. My psychiatrist's typewriter thrown away like my ME Super. $1 million special effects for advertisement dancing around my bed. Tired of waking up to silly knives, hatred becoming an embarrassment. Singing waves of glory took hold of me, a voice faster than light. Small clues and insanity doesn't steal away the Bible. Children deny evil exists, and mature Christians deny it by accepting it. We can become like children. We can start forever again. Darkness could be so dark, ego can make it seen, while people are merely fallible. Beating demons, we massage ourselves, demonizing for popularity. So many ways of juggling the truth. It became plain that peace is just about putting people first, and prayers are important, but life is to be lived. Hiding yourself away, pain is just a chance once in a while to just laugh at it. The greatest insult is that my imagination had puppies. So many insults, all I saw were bands with self-deprecating names, and the beauty of rhythm. Light as an object takes a few seconds to go across the sky at the right distance. 1984 was about making self-exploration immoral. Things occurred to me very late in my life, and my life came alive. Not too late, and maybe I said something new. You can't fear the state, except if the church takes you to the transept, and the secular becomes a chance to see. The snake biting its tail isn't swallowing itself, but there is a slew of ideas we wade through to be with the two anointed fangs. I asked God to let me cry for the elephant man, but I was free to be greater, at least through love. Thank you.
Next on up, we have Robert Saint Germain.
You got Saint
Come on
Germain.
in. You're next, your next.
This first one is called Bleeding. Bleeding. Inside my chest is a bleeding heart. It has been this way from the start. Things always seem to get to me. The greatest side is what you don't see. People shoot daggers from their eyes. As I feel so despised. I try so hard to get ahead, but every time opportunity ends up dead. I want to run as fast as I can, until I'm beaten down before I began. I wish upon a flying star, but I never seem to get too far. I fight and pray with all my might, but this is my lonely plight. I hold on to my hopes and goals. Table guide my weary soul. This one's called Spiders. Spiders living in my head, things not done and things not said. Keep recalling to and fro, out of the way I should go.
Okay.
Spinning webs into my mind, no safe place that I can find. Insects stand upon my heart, it's our reality apart. These are my lies that I believe, instead I quietly grieve. I've got sticky legs upon my skin, the rugs remind me of every sin. Now there's nothing left inside, now there's nowhere left to hide. Spiders spread like a disease, spiders go away please.
The spiders. Everyone, before we go for our last reader of the day, I got a secret late submission and permission to read. So I am going to read a poem submitted by a lovely participant in the room. May I bring attention to the participant in the room? This is written by Larry, but also written by 2004. There. Okay. This is called 2025. 2025. Wonderful to be alive. Time to heal and strive. Maybe even learn the jive. Pack the old into archive. Stand tall and be alive. High gear, healing drive. Never stop just at 5. Years will help you survive. Keep going and stay alive.
Good one.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Thank you. Next on up, last to close out the show, but definitely not least, we have the wonderful Cassandra. Come on up, share your words and lovely poem.
I have to apologize because I cannot remember which poems I read last time, so I think these haven't been read, but if it's a repeat, my apologies. Okay. It is called Abandoned. You left me drowning in an ocean of memories, emotions and use that hangs me, suspended in midair. I can't act like I don't care. I get lost in the middle of nowhere. You pull away while I hang on. I know I'm in the wrong. You always said it wouldn't be forever, while I nurtured a dream that we would end up together. You have every right to want to be free of me. I just hopelessly hoped you wouldn't want to be. That our lives might find some perfect symmetry. You meant what you said and went your own way eventually. Looking back, I survived just fine after all the agony. New flowers bloomed amidst the weeds. But sometimes I still think of you. Wonder how it all worked out and what you're doing. Sometimes I feel pathos, sometimes I feel anger. I was once in love and now you're a stranger. It was a struggle to get over you because my love was true. But I've been able to embrace the future without you. Time has brought me peace and acceptance. I'm no longer grieving for what I left behind. I'm actually glad that you are part of my past and for the relationship we had. But it's a long past time to say goodbye. Like a baby bird kicked out of the nest, it's time to spread my wings and hope for the best. Okay. This one's called Change. Dawn turns into day, day to twilight, and evening into blackest night. And I'm all right. Am I all right? Change has come so slowly over the years, and my youth is gone, but I still carry on. Like a waking dream, the reality of aging sometimes saddens me. Sometimes makes me grateful the past is behind me. The things I survived but shouldn't have, to know the pain is over is the gift of maturity. At times it has been a forced march into futility, and I stumbled. I cried hopelessly. I dreamed great dreams and failed spectacularly. From time to time I can barely face the memory. But having known human frailty, there is now forgiveness and love inside of me. For all the ways we failed to flourish, fall short of what we had the potential and intentions to be. An eternal parent who understands that confidence allows us to take those first shaky steps, but that doesn't mean we won't fall and fall again. Tough as leather, but delicate as lace. The ideologies we have clothed ourselves in are only flawless when we begin. It is the journey that weathers us in. Sometimes we should prioritize being over doing, experiencing over succeeding, wanting to know over knowing. The passage of time builds character. The weaker we are, the more we learn. The more we withhold judgment, the greater the peace. Thank you. All right. And this last one is called Sacred Fire. Sacred Fire. Bring your desire, the flames rise higher. It's a sacred fire. Signal the gods it's an act of faith, a Buddha priestess, and disenchantment with the ordinary. They come to her with all their problems, the scent of incense washing through the air. What to do when love is unrequited, if finances are complicated and insufficient, when prayer seems to fall on deaf ears, when you find yourself barren, or can it be simple curiosity? A spell to help you get your life together, a supplication or a reiteration of what you want, and deep down you're afraid of the spiritual cost. Are you turning your back on a monotheistic God? Something to try. You don't know why you're even here, except you're grieving the loss of something you held dear. A shadow of doubt, a sliver of fear, a pantheon of gods and goddesses to hear, a chant that calls them to answer your supplication, a rhythm that reverberates through this sacred space. Taking a chance on the unknown. Part of you is afraid and just wants to go home. The rest of you is intrigued at what may come of this. Rooted to the spot, you watch her appeal to the gods you have no history with. You're not even sure they exist, but you can't resist asking them. All right, those are the three. Thank you very much, sir. And
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of our group. And thank you all. Happy end of the Poetry Slam.